Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's Monday, that means it's Movie Monday, continuing our journey to the Infinity War with our MCU Rewatch. Today, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's right everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers, Movie Monday. We have been going through the MCU, rewatching all the films, discussing them here on the channel. We've been having so much fun with this, guys. We are almost to Infinity War. This time we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Me personally, I love this film. I think it's one of the absolute best films of the MCU. When I first watched it, it blew me away. I thought maybe it was a little... I was really worried that they were just going to do the first film, just like double the amount of jokes, double the amount of cuteness and Groot, things like that, right? And they did, but it worked. They had me almost from the beginning. This movie is so rich, it's so fun, it's humorous, it's action-packed. It is just, it's just everything to me, guys. Everything to me. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani, Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
Jelani. Tell me what you thought about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I liked it, but not like that. Good Lord.
Jesus.
It's great. It's a great film. And like I said before, with Guardians of the Galaxy, you can actually like show people that aren't like initiated to the Marvel Universe. You can just show these films to them. And they're just going to be like, oh, wow. Yeah, the first one is amazing. I love the first one more than the second one, in my opinion. But it's still, Volume 2 makes their story that much more... I don't know. It makes them look more like a family.
Yes.
That group is always arguing. They're always, in some kind of conflict with each other. But at the same time, they know that they're family and they're all they've got. And the fact that Quill actually gets a chance to actually meet his father and figure out where he comes from. Yes. And actually gets gets the knowledge he needs to know about why his mother or why his father left his mother. You get all that, and it's very emotional how you figure out different things in the film. With actually the main theme is family and how families can come together, and that's what I get from this film. It's a very powerful message, and like I said, you can show it to anyone. And you don't like crazy sci-fi stuff, that's fine. You can still watch this movie just for the drama. You can watch it just for, you can just see them move and progress as a family. And I love that. I love this film. Absolutely.
This movie has so much heart in it. And it gives everybody, it takes this big cast. Because Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one came out, took the nation by storm. Everybody just loved this film, right? You got Rocket Raccoon fans. You got Groot t-shirts and backpacks all over the place. People wearing Star-Lord masks and buying the red jackets, dressing up as Drax and Gamora. Mm-hmm. Like, big deal. And they take all those characters and they add more characters. And the characters that were there, they enrich their characterizations a whole lot more. Look at the difference between Guardians 1 and 2 as far as the character of Yondu goes. Mm-hmm. They take him levels beyond where they left him in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. He's kind of like a cool, fun character in the first one, but you don't really like him that much. But in this one, you fall in love with Yondu. And Michael Rooker has a lot to do with that. But of course, James Gunn has had an amazing vision for these characters the entire time. The cosmic universe of the MCU is so great. And both Guardians films are amazing. So far, we hope that the third one's going to be great too. Because as it stands right now, best trilogy in the MCU, right now, pre-Infinity War we're talking. And it won't be Avengers to me because of Age of Ultron. But it's Captain America. But it could easily be Guardians with a really solid Volume 3. Great music in this one, just like in the last one. A very memorable soundtrack. Songs that really fit the mood. Like I said, more characters. Even James Gunn's brother. Mm-hmm. Yondu's like, first mate.
Psychic, yeah.
Yeah. Like, he gets more to do in this movie. Drax. Everybody's got moments to be badass and to shine and be awesome. And they have moments to be deep and personal and have great characterization. Speaking of great characterization, nobody here has that, but Brooks is probably the best. What do you think about Guardians of the Galaxy V2?
I thought it was too jokey.
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding, of course.
But it balanced it right.
Yeah, the Guardians movie already had this tone set in the first movie that they're very lighthearted don't take themselves too seriously, and that's part of the reason I really like them so much, is because, you know, they can get away with that humor without people saying, you know, oh, it's too jokey. Because, you know, you hear that a lot on some of these Marvel movies, people saying that there's too jokey.
I've said that.
They won't like, yeah, you said that a few
We'll
times.
talk about more later.
Like, oh, it ruins,
Yeah.
they ruin the moment with jokes and all this stuff. And that doesn't happen in this movie. You know, I can't think of a single time when a joke actually ruined a moment.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Love this movie so much. So, like you mentioned, this deals mostly with the idea of Peter finding out his parentage, where he comes from. He's got this cosmic background because his dad is Kurt Russell, a.k.a. Ego, a.k.a. a Celestial, not in the comic books. He's not a Celestial in the comics. In the comics, he's just a big living planet. Yeah. And they do that. But the way that he's also able to be Kurt Russell, it makes sense. When they first announced him and that he was Ego, we were all like...
How's that work?
They made it work. They made it work so well. The planet looks... We talk about how these Marvel Cinematic Universe movies look so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Guardians 2 looks so amazing.
Gorgeous.
It's so pretty. Ego's planet,
Yeah.
it looks so amazing. So it's about Star-Lord seeking out his true father. Meanwhile, he's got this family he's developed around him. And I love that moment when even Gamora's like, I thought we were your family. Mm-hmm. And he totally buys into what his dad's selling him, hook, line, and sinker. He's even willing, if you remember when you rewatched it, did you notice that like Peter is down to do Ego's plan?
Yeah.
Everything.
Up until
he tells him that he killed his mother. And
Well, he does that when he's like, my friends. But then all Ego's just like, oh, you're thinking like, you know, Earth level.
Yeah.
I think more cosmic, you know.
But the moment that he said that he killed his mother, and I love it. I think Kurt Russell did a great job. It's so on the nose at points. They're even throwing ball.
Yeah.
They're playing catch at that one point, but it works so well and it tugs at your heart. Drax has got a brilliant scene there when Mantis touches him and feels what he's feeling. Mm-hmm. But in another scene, she touches him, and it's super funny.
Yeah, it's like, I've never felt such laughter.
Exactly.
Such humor.
Mantis was added into this film, a great character. They expanded Nebula in this movie into a great role. So let's talk real quick, though, about Ego. What'd you think about Kurt Russell? The whole story about the dad, his plot, how Ego worked, the translation from the comic book. What'd you think?
He may be one of the greatest Marvel villains.
I think so. I agree.
He just might be. I don't know. I can't really put it, but he's a lot stronger than the last few. He's no Malekith. So I love Kurt Russell in this film because they got CG right on his face.
Yeah, when they actually look good.
Like doing the whole Brandy shtick was perfect. They got his feather hair and
I love it. He looks like that on every planet.
Yes,
like that's
he
the
looks
epitome.
The same. He's like, yeah. Apparently, I just want to be a white guy
with some feathered hair.
With some feathered hair.
Yes, Drax, I do have a penis.
Yeah. So he decided, to become a human.
My father would tell us the story of him impregnating my mother.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Arthur's have hangers.
Who would have thought that Dave Bautista would just be an amazing part of any movie? But he is.
He is. And Ego as a planet was even more, it was threatening.
Don't you like when you saw the face on the planet too? That looks great.
That was amazing. I mean, you want that kind of characterization and you want like a planet to actually destroy everything. I really wish he could have survived because I wanted to see Peter use his powers later.
There's a chance he may have. He did plant seeds across other planets.
That's true. That's true. But I think he was an incredible villain, and the fact that he starts off and you believe that he actually cares about Peter, and he cares about what their relationship would have been, only to turn out to be like this total dick.
Yeah.
And all he wants to do is conquer the universe. So I love Kurt Russell in this film. I love how easily it was. And Kurt Russell's like deep embedded in Disney. So the fact that they found him to get him this role, I think it's perfect. And I think he did an excellent job.
What do you think about Kurt Russell as Ego in this film?
I like him. He was charming when he needed to be, and he was also very. He knew what to say to make Peter see things his way. He played a lot on the father
His need for a father.
Yeah, his need to know his father, and to manipulate him into going along with his plan. And he wasn't very villainous, but that kind of worked.
He
to
got
his
a little
advantage.
villainous at the end there, though.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, he finally is like, when things aren't going his way, he gets all pissed off and everything. But I think he was a much more subtle villain in that, he was one of those that thinks like, oh, this is gonna make everything better when everything becomes me.
Yeah.
That everything will be better, right?
Yeah.
Right.
At least for me.
Yeah. I think Ego is amazing, and they succeeded in making one of these villains better in the movie than he is in the comic book.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's true.
So the Guardians, the typical ones: Peter Quill, Chris Pratt, Nebula, Zoe
Saldana.
That's Gamora.
Gamora.
Nebula
is
Gamora.
killing
Gamora.
Gideon.
Oh my goodness. Exactly. You got Nebula back in there. We'll talk about her in a minute.
I saved you.
Drax, Dave Bautista, Rocket Raccoon, and of course Groot. Baby Groot, adorable. Adorable. Rocket was awesome. The scene when Rocket's on the planet and the dudes are coming after him and he has to take them all out. That's one of my favorite bits in the whole movie. And then the guy's like, what are you going to do without all your fancy toys?
He jumped on wailing on his head.
It's so awesome. And he's like moving them up and down. And I also like that they're showing subtle things here about showing that the Guardians are coming together as a familial unit, because Rocket's sitting there humming along to one of Peter's songs.
Yeah.
In the beginning, he's
that.
like setting up the whole sound system.
Yeah.
Like it's Peter's idea, and Peter's like, no, dude, that's not really important. And he's like, yeah,
sure.
I get you.
The humor is so fun, even when they're bickering and fighting. When he calls him a trash pan, he's like, I don't know what that is.
Is that bad?
It's way worse.
So way worse.
So much worse. They're so funny, and then they all have their moments, like we were talking about when Rocket has that moment with Yondu, and Yondu's like, I know who you are because you're me.
Yep.
And like it just. Everybody has this arc that just like gets so fulfilled. Gamora and Nebula, they're like sibling rivalry, and how she forgives and realizes the effect that she has had on Nebula, even though Nebula is crazier, more gung-ho on killing Gamora in this movie than she was in the first one. She flies that ship to that planet, crashes it, shoots at it. She's just screaming.
She's constantly missing her.
And she saves her from from the ship, and then like she immediately starts fighting. Are you kidding me?
Yes. What are some of your favorite moments involving the Guardians, character moments that stand out?
Well, I like the Drax moments with Mantis a lot.
Yeah.
Like the way he kind of he's kind of mean to her, but she just doesn't quite get that he's being
also
mean
kind of
to her.
sweet to
like,
her
this
too.
is a practical joke. I just invented it.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm not interested in you like that. I've tried to let you go easy.
I just thought of us being intimate together.
But even at the end, he's like trying to be nice to her.
Yeah.
And it's like
you are beautiful on the
inside.
You're still quite ugly.
What about you? What sticks out to you?
Mantis doing the touch, and like she's like, I know you have deep love.
Yeah.
For her.
She just told everyone your deepest, most darkest.
must be so embarrassed.
I love Mantis in this film.
Do me next.
She's so amazing. There's so many just scenes in this movie. Like it's hard to pick like several. You get the Stallone actually.
Oh yeah, you got the old school Guardians
in it.
That scene on the planet where Yondu is like. The first time I watched the movie, I thought it was alright, but the second time I actually I kind of teared up over that.
Yeah,
I know what it actually means.
Not get a
with
funeral.
The foreshadowing. Yeah,
you don't get the funeral. We don't give you the.
You got Chris-Star there, Starhawk, and then later on you get Charlie 27 with Ving Rhames. You get Michelle Yeoh playing I can't remember who you got.
She's the other half of Starhawk.
That's right, and you got Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus is the brain. I keep forgetting the names of the
I do too.
Ones. But that's all the
those
Guardians
are the original ones from back in the day. Which Yondu was one of those.
Yeah, and it's everything. I'm sorry, I love Yondu. Yondu was my favorite character.
Amazing in this film.
He's my favorite character in this film. He may possibly be like one of the best in MCU. He'd be my top 5 greatest Marvel like MCU.
What about that
characters
moment?
they have so
You know,
far.
we saw him in the first film use his little arrow and his whistle, and it was great. But in this one, when he gets the bigger fin,
a fool!
and he takes out his own men, and he's just like walking in slow motion, and
Strolling.
Rocket's like, yeah. Oh my goodness, that scene is so awesome and beautiful in its violence and death.
Yeah.
God, Yondu was amazing in this movie. Let's talk
was.
about Yondu. So great. Michael Rooker probably should have gotten an Academy Award for this movie. I don't know. I'm just kidding about that. But this movie was so good, especially because of him. It's a story about families, a story about fathers. Peter's been trying for so long to find his father, but he was always there. And they add this dimension with Yondu that just is beautiful. And just so, like, the Mary Poppins bit.
Right.
And then when Yondu sacrifices himself at the end,
sad.
Chris Pratt, his performance, his reaction.
Yeah.
This movie makes me want to cry. I think it's the only MCU movie that's ever made me that emotional. What do you think? Did that make you
It
emotional?
made me cry. I mean, it was good though. It
didn't make me cry.
It didn't make me cry yet.
I said it made me emotional.
Yeah, you cried.
What about you, Brooke?
Well, yeah, I mean, it does. I do kind of tear up in a few parts in this movie, and you know, when you're talking about Yondu, you can't forget about Taserface.
Taserface.
That's a name what strikes fear into those that hear it.
What did he say? It's better than scrotum hat. that part of Rocky, like taser face, and then because you got the Sovereign in here as well, and Aisha, and that leads into the Warlock stuff. But when like he's like, I just want you to remember the one told you know, and he's like,
who sent you?
yeah, taser face. And she's like, and like when they're and also speaking of the Sovereign, when they're like sitting there in their ships and they're like piloting them like this in arcade, and that one's like,
kids.
you suck, Sarlacc.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny, and it
spoiled.
breaks those tensions, it breaks the action, it breaks the drama with these perfectly dropped bits of humor that are not forced at all, like Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I'm still bitter about some talks we had last week. Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, Taserface. Dude, Taserface. It's like James Gunn saw this dude in a official handbook of the Marvel Universe and was like, Taserface. The way Rocket responds to that, and he turns all of his own men against him. And he's just so annoyed with it. It's great. Another great scene. Rocket, Yondu in jail, trying to tell Baby Groot how to go get the fin.
God.
Oh my. And they brings him the thumb.
It's a fin. How did you get this thumb?
Please tell me you guys have like a drawer somewhere full of body parts.
No.
I don't even want to know. Oh my God.
He's gonna wake up and he's not gonna know where his eye is.
That's a desk.
Yeah.
Like it's just that's my underwear. That bit was so funny. Baby Groot is so cute and
He is
adorable
cute.
and amazing. Even from the very beginning of the
It's
film,
still Vin Diesel.
when they're doing ELO, right? From
Yeah.
the very beginning of that movie, and then in one of the post credit scenes when he's like teenage Groot.
I'm Groot.
I am
not
not
boring.
old.
Yeah. I love
I'm not
how
boring. You're boring.
I love how he's like people understand him now. Like I love how Quill's just like, yeah, you can't use that language.
Yeah.
He was just treating him like he's a teenager. You get a feeling Groot has personality all the way through with just saying 3 words. And the fact that they've gotten it from old Groot dying to Sprout Groot in this movie, and then teenage Groot as we go on. I can't wait to see what teenage Groot's gonna be.
Oh man.
Yeah, this angsty, or is he gonna be like, I don't know, girl chasing?
He'll have
Is he
leaves
gonna
going
be,
over half his face.
Yeah. Or is he emo? Yeah, you don't know yet. I can't wait.
Let's talk about Nebula. Nebula, her story elaborated so much more, given so much more depth and richness in this film to me. I thought she was even better than the first one. Just like I thought everything was bigger and better and just more intense, more emotional, more comedic, more driven. This movie is just so much more than the first one to me, and I just think it did it exceptionally well, especially with Nebula. What do you think about the character and how they evolved the character?
I love how you get the story of how she got her mechanical parts. She kept losing to Gamora, and the fight, they would pit each other, and Thanos, every time she lost, would rip a piece of her away. I love that story. It was so touching. Now that would have made me tear up.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't cry though, but it was very emotional to know her backstory and why she is motivated to kill Gamora so much.
Yeah.
So I love that portion of her. I love that their relationship is better now because they had to hash it out some stuff had to get blown up.
That was one instance where, you know, the joke that they threw in after that could have you know, killed the moment, but it was, you know, it was good enough of a joke that it kind of worked, you know. Because she's telling him this story about how, like, how she was torn apart basically and all this, and then he's like, oh, I meant, like, you know, maybe get a nice hat. Something to make the girls say, ooh, that's
What
nice.
about why Groot doesn't like hats? That's a great... Wait a minute. That's why you don't like hats? What do you think about Nebula in this film?
She's great in this one. I liked her. She was in the first one, you know. She didn't get a whole lot of time, but the time she did get, I saw, you know, the potential in the character. And she really lived up to it in this one. I mean, she really like, she made it perfectly clear, like, when she was like, all she cares about now is killing Thanos. And she doesn't care if anyone thinks she's strong enough. She's gonna, like, any means necessary, she's gonna find a way and try to kill Thanos.
Yep. Oh, and it just makes you so oozing with excitement for Infinity War and what's gonna happen
her
there.
and Drax should team up.
Love it.
Speaking of Drax, what about in the very beginning where he's like, I'm going to jump into it and rip it out from the inside because its hide is impenetrable.
No.
Like, that doesn't make any kind of sense. The skin's the same thickness from the inside and the out.
And he pops up, I single-handedly defeated the beast.
Oh, this movie is so fun. So fun. Well, let's start rating it.
Okay.
First of all, the music. You like the music in this film? Who does?
It's alright.
Oh, you don't like the music
There's
in
some
this film?
stuff I didn't know, so I didn't really jump in it. The first one, love all the songs. Play all the songs all the time. This one, I mean, they were okay.
I like the second soundtrack.
I know
better.
you do. I know you do. It's just, I don't.
Mr. Blue Sky alone.
I like Brandy. Your friend, girl.
Dude, but okay. And then you got
What?
the Beatle, George Harrison.
George Harrison.
George Harrison's in there. You got Sweet.
Tweets in there.
Dude, some great stuff. Great stuff.
It's a,
You like the soundtrack?
Yeah.
What's your favorite song? For me, it's Mr. Blue Sky.
Yeah, probably the same.
Yeah? What about you? Is that the Guardian Inferno? Oh.
We just talked about it.
Yeah.
Blue
It's
Sky.
Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I was doing. How did you not get that, man?
Sky.
For your favorite song, you missed it.
Oh, and also The Chain.
Yeah, that was a
Mac.
good one too.
Yeah.
And great use of this music in this movie. Dude, it just looked amazing. I love this film so much. I am ready to start rating this movie. We give a possible 5 you digs
I think you're giving it a -5.
here at
You're throwing
PCP.
curveballs.
Jelani, out of 5 possible you digs, what do you rank Guardians of the Galaxy V2?
I give it a 4.
A 4. Solid.
4.
Great. Good movie.
I don't think it is as good as the first movie. It's great. I love the film. It does it leaps and bounds of what the first film did. But I still love the first film. I still love the way they came together in that first film. So, yeah, 4.
4 is very respectable. Absolutely. That's what we ranked Iron Man. Yeah,
Yeah.
4. Good. What about you, Brooks? How many you digs out of a possible 5 do you give Guardians of the Galaxy V2?
I give it a 5, man.
5! Tell me why 5.
Well, I love this movie so much. You know, it's another one of those. You know, I'm down for watching this movie anytime.
Yeah.
It puts me in a good mood. Like I just enjoy watching it so much and get so much entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with Brooks. I give it 5. 5 stars.
Yeah, 5 brothers.
I love this film.
Brothers
We've been
vibe.
saying it all night. Perfect balance between comedy, drama, humor, adventure. So much in this movie. It makes you feel. It makes you laugh. It makes you leap out of your chair with excitement. It gets you engaged and with very compelling characters. Then their stories just get... It's the first movie, but bigger and better and just so much more awesome, in my opinion. I love this film on all levels so much. Fantastic. 5 stars. So 5 stars, or 5 you digs, 5 you digs, 4 you digs, giving an average of
4.5.
4... Well, there's 2 5s. One. So that's like 4.763333333.
So 4 3/4.
If you want to round up.
We don't do math here.
Yeah. We do, but terribly.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what we thought about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. What did you think about it? How many you digs out of 5 would you give it? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Be sure to join us next movie Monday. We're talking about Spider-Man Homecoming. Super excited to talk about that one as well. Are you guys not? Right? Michael Keaton, Tom Holland. Not Todd.
Tom
Holland.
Tom.
Don't we know a guy named Todd Holland?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be Spider-Man too. Anyway, next week, Spider-Man Homecoming. Let me know in the comments, though, what do you think about Guardians 2? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? We seem to really like it here, especially me and Brooks. So I'm excited to hear what you got to say in the comments down below. What?
I loved it.
Yeah, you gave it a 4. Yeah, respectable.
You didn't like as much as we
Yeah,
did.
you didn't like it as much as we did.
Wah, wah.
Anyway, please do check out popculturephilosophers.com for podcast blogs and a whole lot more. Like, share, subscribe. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. This is...
Jelani, Bullard.
This is...
Brooks.
We are Pop Culture Philosophers. You dig? See, I'm wearing my Jurassic Park shirt because Chris Pratt's in the Jurassic World.
I get it.
I'm not going to be that spot on like Brooks did last week when he was wearing the Doctor Strange shirt. Scooch in, please. That was a
Yes,
week
sir.
ago already?